There are new updates from OpenAI recently that I think might not matter much if you are not a programmer, but I believe we should at least be aware of the updates. What does this do? If we look at OpenAI recently, we will find that we have been hearing about two things. One called GPT-5.3 Codex and another called Codex app. Let's find out what GPT-5.3 Codex from OpenAI is. It is a new artificial intelligence model, but dedicated to two things: coding and agentic tasks. It can perform agent tasks like thinking and planning, execute steps, use tools, and complete work. It also has the ability to program or code. OpenAI states that this model, GPT 5.3 Codex, is the most capable as an agent coding model because it combines the power of GPT 5.2 Codex in programming and the thinking and knowledge capabilities of GPT 5.2 as a model within ChatGPT. You were using it normally, and it is also 25% faster, which is very important for long tasks. OpenAI states that GPT 5.3 Codex has achieved strong performance on benchmarks measuring programming, agents, and computer usage related to software engineering, as well as the terminal bench and something called the OS world. For me, the Codex app, which we have also heard about recently, is a desktop application. You can download it on macOS. It is currently available for macOS. It acts as a command center for agents, meaning a single place where you manage multiple agents. Each agent can work with the other in parallel, not just one agent running or working on the same repo without any overlap or confusion. Now, the challenge is not what the topic can do, but how you can monitor everything and achieve collaboration among agents on a large scale. And the traditional IDE, like VS Code for example, is not designed for this type of work. Therefore, they started developing, as you can see, to enable it to work on this type of work. Regarding the components of the Codex app, we don't want to get into technical details, but we can quickly say there is something called threads, and each project has its own conversation space or threads specific to it, specific to the bug, specific to adding features, specific to improving the UI. This is important because when you start a project, for example, let's say project A, you start it running, you go to project B, and open another thread and return to project A after an hour. Let me give you an example. Let's say you are working on, for example, a landing page. This landing page is project 1. In this threads, you are working on adding a pricing section, and there is another threads working on fixing a specific issue, and you went to project 2, for example, working on the back end. So you can switch between threads without any problem, without any confusion. There is also something called def review. The def is a way to show you the old code before modification and the new code after modification, and what was removed and what was added line by line. This is the same concept as something called the pull request on GitHub, but here it is available within the app and within the same threads. So what does def review do in the Codex app? When the agent modifies the code, it shows you the changes so you can review the modification and write a comment on a specific part. Why is this important? Because you are monitoring the work here, not just making any modification, and that's it. You have one repo, one project, and you want 3 agents to work on it at the same time. Agent A, for example, is creating a new feature. Agent B is fixing a bug. Agent C is improving the UI. If they all work on the same files in the same version, there will be something called conflicts. The Worktrees solve this problem, meaning trees are an additional working copy of the same repo, the same project, but with a separate folder or environment. So you have a work tree for agent A, a work tree for agent B, and a work tree for agent C. Each agent works in its isolated space. Agent A modifies UI pages. Agent B is working on the API. Agent C is working on modifying and improving CSS, and so on. There is something called Git Actions, and here it does not refer to GitHub Actions. It refers to the Git commands that you use to write manually, which have become easier from within the app. Why is this important in the Codex app? Because the agent works and produces changes, saves the work, and organizes it as the programmer would. This topic will definitely be very important for them as it will simplify tracking changes. Any changes in managing the branches they are working on will be very professional because it will save them time and effort. As for skills and automations within the app, skills are a set of work, instructions, resources, and scripts for the Codex to access tools and work on the workflows in a stable manner. There is also something called automations, which are scheduled tasks that run in the background and return results. The automations run locally. Inside the Codex app, I also want to mention that the app must be running, and the project must be on your device, so you must pay attention to this aspect. We can say that the difference between the two is that GPT 5.3 Codex is the capability, meaning the intelligence, while the Codex app is the experience. It is a complete system related to the operation itself. Without the Codex app, you can use GPT-5.3 Codex from the web itself, or as an extension within the IDE, meaning an extension, for example, within Visual Studio Code. It will give the code a very good boost. With Codex app, you are opening a project and allowing the agent to build the pages, while another agent at the same time is making improvements to the UI, for example, and another one is writing, and another one is preparing, and you start switching between them. For example, let's say you are a project manager. You see the dev history of the modifications that have been made, and you decide and make a decision. So the situation here is completely different. If you are not going to use the GPT 5.3 Codex app, it is very strong in the reasoning, searching, and executing long tasks. With the app, you have different agents. One agent is fixing a bug, one agent is testing, one agent is reading logs, one agent is preparing, and one agent is working on deployment, and so on, all in separate work trees. Now, regarding the use of the Codex app, who can use it and download it on any device, the app is available on macOS operating system and available for subscribers of ChatGPT Plus, Pro, Business, and Enterprise plans, all with the same login for ChatGPT and usage within the subscription with an option to purchase additional credits if needed. The news that will interest many people is that for a limited time, Codex is available for ChatGPT free users as well. And also during the same period, there is a doubling of the rate limits for paid plans. As for Codex on Windows, there is currently no available application. So now it is officially available on Mac operating system. OpenAI has stated that the Windows version is coming as part of the What's Next plans from OpenAI, but Codex is available through the web within Codex Web. You can actually join the waitlist and access the Codex page on the web linked to your account on ChatGPT. Even if you don't have the Codex app on Windows, you can use it through the browser, but as you can see, you still need to join the waitlist for it. The IDE can be accessed through the Codex ID extension. For example, if you are using, for instance, Visual Studio Code, you can download it as an extension. Windows is supported experimentally, and the best experience on Windows is through Windows Subsystem for Linux via Terminal or Codex CLI, which is available on Mac operating system and Linux. Windows support is experimental, and OpenAI also recommends WSL or Windows Subsystem for Linux for a better experience. This is very simple. The announcements that have been made recently by OpenAI are straightforward without complications. I hope the idea has been conveyed. See you in the next video, God willing, on the Infotech for You channel. I try to present you with everything new and useful, so don't forget to support us with likes, shares, and comments if you are dear followers and if you are watching us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive all new updates. May you be well, and peace be upon you.